All right, welcome back. I have a special guest here with me, probably my favorite Robbie Wines interview ever. And I had to drag him back. It's been a while since he's been here. Reminisce Khalid Safaru. Well, you know him as Reminisce.
Alaji.
How you doing?
Alaji. You have to add Alaji to that.
Alaji, no vex. Well, very sorry.
It's not easy.
You have ended it.
Yes, I've ended it.
How's it been, man? It's been a while. You haven't been back here in a minute.
Yes, I haven't.
And we haven't even seen you anywhere in a while. Thank God for King of Boys. Yeah. At least you know you are around. Yeah. But generally, you've been very low-key. What's going on?
I just, that's how I've been. Sometimes I just want to lay back. I want to sit down, just listen to other people, see what other people are doing. And I'm not just in the mood to create. And, I want to try other things out. Say 2021, I ventured into my sports business full-time. No. I started my sports agency, started a football show on radio. And then, of course, King of Boys too as well. So I like to, time myself. Sometimes I chill out. Then also my kid started secondary school, which was, I had to do school runs for the first time in 11 years. I didn't know what that was like until, so that's why I knew that my wife, they try, So, so yeah.
Your whole child in secondary school?
Yeah, my first kid in secondary school.
Oh, wow.
I did try small.
You do well. You do well.
So, yeah, so I just took, basically just took the year off and like...
So your plate has been very full? Very. I always thought do you like interviews?
No, I don't like
Yeah, because I always felt like you were media sort of... that's the impression I have.
I don't like interviews generally, but if I have stuff to say, or if I just think, oh, maybe it's been a while, let me just say something, or I like this platform, I'd like to be there. But say every time you put on the TV, you see me there, I just tell them, go on Instagram, or we will email you when we have information. We don't have anything to say now, so I'm not really... I don't like to be misinterpreted, and that's what goes around these days. Once you say something, they pick that up, and so I just prefer to, just be on my own. And when I have stuff to say, I come out and say it.
Let's talk King of Boys, man, because I don't know if I've talked to you since the whole sort of phenomenon happened, and we've heard too many stories about how you didn't want to do it for a long time. Take us through that journey, and especially the sequel, where you died. We thought.
Yeah.
Did you think you were coming back?
Well, when...
What are you contractually allowed to say?
When I saw... I think I'm allowed to talk about it now. When I saw the script at first, and of course I didn't want to do it. I think everybody knows that I've said that many times. I didn't want to do it. I wasn't sure I could pull it off. Yes, I wasn't sure, and I told Kemi, I said, I don't think I can do this. First day on set, I said, look, I'm going to refund. I can't do this. It was actually my birthday, yeah. It was actually my birthday, 2018, yeah. And I saw Anshola performing. I'm like, yo, babes, come. I can't do this thing. I'll send you your money tomorrow. Bado is waiting. They're waiting for me at a club already. It's my birthday. They're waiting for me there. People are waiting for me. They want to drink. Let me go and drink. I'll refund you in the morning. And she was like, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. And shout out to her. Shout out to Kemi. She's a go-getter. I think now I understand that she knew what she wanted, and, she went for it. So... when there was like, the character would die, I'm like, okay, I don't care. It's not like I'm going to do this again anymore. And I didn't even know it was going to be that successful anyway. I was just like, whatever. Die. Okay, shoot me. Yeah, quiet, shoot me. Even the last scene, it was terrible. That part where I got shot and all that, I was exhausted. I hadn't slept in like 2 days. Then I think I was about to pass out. And Remy, that's Kemi's younger brother, was like, we have to do 2 more scenes. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm going home now. So, I got in the car and Remy walked and I was like, bro, please, bro, you've done this already. Let's get this done. I'm like, okay, I have 15 minutes. Let's just do this. And, when the whole thing came out, I didn't even go for the premiere.
I know.
I wasn't sure. I didn't go. I was just at home. Kemi sent me passes, sent me everything. I was just at home. I was just like, when you do your premiere, finish. Because I wasn't sure. I was just in my house. I was watching football, actually. I realized, man, you can't lose that day. I was watching Man you lost that day. So I was just like, I don't know, man, this movie thing. So... Then my wife and my sister and my nieces, went to the cinema. My wife came back and was like, yo, fam, people were clapping when you got to your scene. I'm like, oh, really? Should I go and put that on my Instagram bio now? I was going to... She was like, yeah, people really liked you. Then Kemi was like, you see, I told you, people really like you. I'm like, eh. So I can actually act. She's like, you did well. So I'm like, okay, I'll do a few promo cinema rounds for you just to support and all that. So... Yeah, and of course, one thing it did was, it opened, I think musicians, we tend to be a bit, I don't know if this is the right word, a bit ignorant. Like, we live in our own bubble.
Yep.
You understand? And you don't want to admit that there's another demographic out there who don't even care about music. So King of Boys opened my eyes to that there are a lot of people who actually do not care about your music. They just like you for, you know, and I started discovering some actors I didn't even know. 5 million followers on Instagram. I'm like, I just saw this person last month. I mean, who's this guy? You know what I mean? I'm like, who's this guy?
There's a whole other world.
Yeah, like, how do you know this amount of followers? I don't know him, I don't know her. So, you know, so there's another world out there that, you know, that exists beyond our world. And, of course, I feel privileged to, you know, to be able to teleport between
both.
And now there's football, as you thought. So I'm trying to do the 3 most popular things in the world.
Only you.
Music, movie, only me.
Are you happy with the sequel?
Yes. That was stressful.
Yeah.
It was very stressful. There was a bit of while with me and Kemi on that as well. Like, there was a point I said I'm not doing anymore. Like, because he was doing NSARS, he was doing the protest. We got caught up on set, and I mean, it was a very emotional period. I remember Nse and Auntie Shola. I think the second day when Lekki won. So, and that was when they were vandalizing the entire place, and they were scared. You know, people were like, lock the gates, lock the gates. I'm like, because the other man should be by, you know. So I remember I would go in the morning and Shola would be crying, like, oh my God, I need to leave this country and go to my kids. My kids told me not to come. I'm like, Auntie, don't worry. You know, then I'll get her food, sit down in her room, stay 4 or 5 hours with her. Then I'll have to go to the Nse's room as well. I'll go and talk to her, not to be worried, you know, everything will be fine. So I was like the only man amongst them. So I'll go to Anshola, I'll go to Nse, I'll console her, I'll tell her, don't worry, nothing's going to happen, nobody's going to come here, because there was a lot of burglary going on at that point in time. So, but of course, I was there with my boys, and I'm like, nothing's going to happen here. Even if they come, I was like, I tell them, leave here right now. You know, so yeah, it was emotional for me as well, because, you know, I'm the man of the house in my house. I've got 3 girls and my wife, and, you know, the house helps. So they were at home alone, and I was, you know, on the island, so I was a bit worried, you know, with video call all the time. Are you okay? I heard this is happening. Please lock the gates, lock the doors, you know. And yeah, so, and we had to shoot all through that. Kemi was ill as well. She was just recuperating, and it was a bit emotional for everybody. It was a bit, so I mean, there was tension here and there, you know. Sometimes I just say, I'm on, man, I'm done. Yeah. Just leave me. I'm not doing this, and, you know. Yeah, but it came out. Yeah. I think it came out fine. Yeah,
it did. So you're going to do another one now? Because you are now, I don't know, I mean, there can't be a spoiler at this point. I know you are going to be the 3rd.
Ebuka. You are using style to siphon info from me. You are using tactical maneuver.
I've been asking Kemi doesn't want to tell me. Hey. So you're an actor now, right?
I think so.
How often do you get approached now to do stuff?
I get approached a lot, but Billy.
You didn't give them?
Billings Way Road. My man Billy gone. You know, considering where I'm coming from, you know musicians, our mouth is here already.
So once you give them Billy,
our mouth don't reach here. So by the time you just come, they're like, how much is the movie budget? I'm like, oh well, I don't know what's about, you know. So yeah, but beyond fees and all that, you know, sometimes I tend to look at the script. If it's something I want to do, something I don't want to do. I've done, I think I did one, apart from KOB, that'll be out this year.
Oh, nice.
You know, that one centered around my person, my name, and all that stuff. I was like, I like the script. It's kind of tailored, you know, around me, and yeah, and I did that. So, yeah, billing, you know, so that
billing is important.
My man.
You have a child in secondary school now.
I've got 3, bro.
Uh-huh.
And so I have to. I still have to get my gangster on, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, you know.
Well done, man. Looking forward to the new one you mentioned, and of course, congrats on King of Boys and everything.
Thank you.
But you mentioned football a lot now. What's happening there?
Football. Well, huge football fan. We support the same football club.
Yes,
we've been heartbroken for. I don't know if you're part of those that supported Ole, but
I don't know who I support anymore.
I don't talk about that one.
Let's not say today. So let's focus on Super Eagles for today.
Super Eagles. Yeah. So you know, I always wanted to do football, and so I just sat down, say December 2020. You know, then I called my guys. I'm like, look, I want to go 100 on this thing now. Let's start up the agency. You know, do it properly, set up properly, register, do all this, and of course I picked up my phone, started, you know, contacting people. Oh, we do this and this, and yeah.
So you run a football agency now?
Yeah, full time. Yeah, sports. We do ads, do all that. Yeah, proper sports agency. The same way music and advertising, proper sports agency. You know, so got my guys, and through that, I'm like, okay, well, because people don't take musicians serious. you know. Imagine that in a seminar as the CEO of LR Sports, they will say, you know, so I had to appoint someone, you know, someone that's been really, really close to me and, you know, has been doing a lot of groundwork, you know, for me over the years. And, of course, brilliant guy. So I looked for someone that could, you know, handle this, appointed him CEO. You know, we run it together, basically, and, you know, yeah, and it's not been bad now. We've done a lot of stuff with a lot of big names, you know, and, yeah, and I have my own football show on the side.
Okay.
Because I didn't just want to be idle in the whole thing, so I do my football shows Monday evenings, you know, yeah.
On radio?
On radio, yeah, on radio, yeah. And where I have the fans calling, so it's an avenue for fans to call in. But we don't do only football, we don't do music, we don't talk about, we just talk football. Call in, talk, we yab each other, talk to each other anyhow. You can see I cut the phone. You understand? So like that, so it's fun, you know, and it's just a way of, you know, I tell people Saturdays in my living room we argue all day. So I just do it on radio. It's not, you know, it's not different. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yeah. So
are you scouting players as well?
No.
Is that part of the plan?
No. I don't want to do that. I've done that in the past, and I've done that as I own an amateur football club. So don't worry, because I've done that one. Yeah. Like 6 years, I've done that one, taking players to Netherlands, Indonesia.
Interesting.
But you know. Greece, you know, I've done that. I've done that, and it's not it is a 1 in a million. Yeah. You know,
it's a tough job.
It's a tough job. One breakthrough, one player.
Patient.
You are going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you get disappointed by a lot of people. So, you know, yeah. So,
what are your thoughts about Super Eagles?
I think
this tournament. Do you think we're overconfident? The fans,
they're not overconfident.
I'm not talking about the players now. The fans.
I think
everybody's talking about the cup already.
I think Paro underutilized this team. I spoke about him a couple of times on my football show. Like, I don't understand what Paro was doing before. You understand? We have a lot of players that... I mean, we have, probably since 94, 96, we have, like, the greatest crop of players. Yeah, are playing regular football in, you know, standard European clubs, and the performances have been really, really awful. You understand? From formations to selection issues to, you know... And I think Mr. Guava has done a good job so far.
Yeah.
Compact,
so optimistic.
Very decisive. No, he doesn't look like he cares about what anybody thinks. He just wants to get it done, and I like him for that.
Feeling confident.
Yeah, we are confident. We should be able to wipe everybody, apart from maybe say Cameroon give us a few, but we should be able to wipe everybody. Everybody looks wipeable, like very, very wipeable. Very, very.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Let's talk music now.
Yeah.
How many albums? 5?
4 albums, 1 EP, 5th album in I've said it. 5th album in 2 months or so, in 60 days.
You heard it here first.
60 days. First single in 3 days.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
so the music suffered all this while with all of these things you're doing?
The music hasn't suffered. I mean, amidst all this, I still put out what will probably be one of the biggest rap songs last year, Omo with Olamide. I didn't even put out a video for it. And I mean, the music cannot suffer. I have, what I've been able to do is I have my own fans, I have my own followers, I have loyal people that listen to me. You understand? I'm not trying to battle for demography with other people or with these kids or whatever. No. You understand? I have my own audience, you understand, and I know how to serve. Yeah, very, very, very extremely loyal. So I know how to serve them, and I know how to, you know, and of course they've been disturbing me since. I promised them an album August last year, but because due to all these things, I had to.
So it's out in March.
Now school runs. Let me confess with you now. Now school runs don't make me release them, but it has been ready. So we are going to go off in 3 days with the first one. Next month there's one with Buju. Then March there's one with Simi. Then the album comes out. That's it. So I've told you people now, let me rest on Instagram, please.
Nice.
Yeah, so you will collect this year a lot of music. I'm in the mood to put out music this year. And you get a concert as well.
What's different about this album?
This album, each of my albums, from the artwork to the content, I like my projects to be themed. You know, if you look at my artworks and the music, like this time now I'm talking about fatherhood more. I'm talking about where I am now. You know, so I'm talking about my experiences with people, fair weather friends. You know how family has, had me rearrange my priorities now. You understand? My priorities have definitely shifted. I'm no longer into cars. Or I'm no longer into clothes as I used to be. You know, right now you get as it be.
Exactly.
January now, you know, everybody don't Roja. You know Roja. So
the email that they waste time.
So I'm talking about that, and what I don't or what I don't want to leave out as well is I want my fans to grow along with me. People that have been listening to me for over 10, 12 years, you know, I want them, they're older now, they have kids as well. So I want them to listen to my music and be able to relate, you know, what I'm talking about. Yeah. You understand? Of course, a little bit of, you know, a little bit of here and there, but you know, the core of, you know, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of, you know, a little bit of this and that, you know, but where I am now at the moment, you know, I have to make that reflect in my music. Yeah. You understand? I have to make that reflect because obviously I don't dress the way I used to dress 10 years, 8 years ago. I don't sound the way I used to sound. I don't think the way I used to think. So that has to reflect in my music. Yeah. You know, my music has to grow. You understand? I have to, you know, it has to reflect where I am at the moment. So, yeah, that's it.
What are your thoughts on music here? Because it's 2021 was crazy for Afrobeats and Nigerian music as a whole. It looked like everything just started happening. Yeah, you know, we got our first Grammy all of a sudden. Grammy nominations.
Grammy's now pure time. Everybody's going to get it.
Well, I'm like, what's going on here? You know? It's a very exciting time, but it also puts a lot of pressure on people like you. You know, does it?
Me personally, no, it doesn't. You know, I just try to do what I should do, what I can do. You understand? I try to do what I can do. The point is, at every point in music history, there are people who will be pioneers. You understand? Say for the modern rap game now, you have Rugged Man, Mode 9 and Co. They were pioneers. You understand? For our side of the map, a lot of Ajasa, Olamide, myself. You understand? For the pop stars, Wiz, David. You understand? For the new school kids, you'd have, say, CK. So there's, you know, there are pioneers in every, you understand, every genre. You understand? So, I mean, I can't be under pressure. I'm just going to do what I have to do and hope for the best, of course. But you want to up your game as well. And you want to, you know, blend in with this Gen Z. Now, Gen Z get the game now.
Completely.
Because they own the internet, so you can't fight them. They own the internet. You understand? You can't fight with Gen. They own the internet. You know what I'm saying? They own the internet. So
on all fronts.
You understand? That their game. You understand? So of course you want to align with them. You want to introduce or reintroduce yourself to, you know, that demography as well. But you know, while not leaving your core demography behind. So yeah, it's just at the end of the day, this is just a bit of balance here and there. You know, like I mentioned about doing movies. You know, it's a new demography now. So people that were not really interested in my music before, since Skill now will be interested. You know, and like that, yeah. So at the end of it, just pull numbers together, add 2 and 2, you know, make fufu, make soup. And now, we're now in an era where, I mean, everybody's okay. Your digital is fine. You're okay. You don't have to be number one. You understand?
Doing okay.
But you're doing really, really okay. You get, so yeah, we're in that era now. And it's also...
Why would you want to be number one?
I'm not saying I don't want to be. I'm saying you don't have to be.
Okay.
You don't have to be. Yeah. You understand? You don't have to be. It's not bad if you aren't. You understand? Of course I want to be. You have to be ambitious. Yeah. You have to, of course, you have to remain ambitious. But I'm saying you don't have to be. You understand? You can still make tons of money and you don't have to be number one.
A lot of people think you're probably the best rapper in this country. Do you think you are?
I know I have Lamba. You know, I know. Of course, I'm not going to deny. I know. Of course, I read that. I know people say that, but well, it feels great now. If you think I am, it means I am.
Do you think you are?
A lot of people think I'm sexy. A lot of people think I'm sexy too. And I tell my people every day that, how can you sleep and wake up in the morning and say Reminisce? If you say Reminisce, oh well, I'm going to take it with my old chest. It's a W. Yeah, I mean, it feels great to do stuff and be recognized. You understand? About being the best. I think that there's so many stuff has to be looked at now. It's no longer like, the Jigga and Nas era. But I mean, it just feels great to me, I'm okay with I'm just okay with being in the conversation. I just want to work hard. My aim here is to come out, and I said it on my very first album, I'm here to collect money. You understand? Every other thing is secondary. Being mentioned as best, that's okay, secondary. But my primary assignment here is to collect the bar.
Last.
I'm not going to lie to you. So collect the bar.
Thank you very much. 2022 looking very good for you. You said a new movie probably coming out this year?
New movie, album.
Yeah, and, new album, concert, when?
Yeah, concert, end of the year, yeah.
Okay.
When would I have?
Maybe KOB3? Where do we get your football show on the day?
My football, Mondays, can I mention where it is? Yeah, Brilliant FM, Monday evenings, 8 p.m. stay tuned. I'm on a lot of banter, a lot of. Ebuka will come too. But Ebuka will come when I like to set it up a little bit when I'm an agenda-driven human being.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you, Ebuka. Thank you.
And his single drops in 3 days.
Yeah, in 3 days.
So look out for
26, my birthday.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll take a break now, and we'll head back. Please stay with us.